In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the most important benefits of meditation, which may seem counterintuitive. Often when we think about meditation and spiritual enlightenment, spiritual awakening, we think of gaining some special, deeper knowledge. And that's true in a sense, but paradoxically, the knowledge we get is that most of our knowledge is not really knowledge. What we have instead is thought. We think about stuff, but we don't really know for sure if most of our thoughts are true. There is, however, something that we can know for sure, and you may be surprised to find out what it is. We'll learn about all this through the hidden teachings within Parshat Eikev, the third Torah portion of Devarim, the Book of Deuteronomy. Enjoy.
And here's our verse we'll look at, which is the opening verse of the Parsha. V'haya ekev tishma'un et mishpatim ha'ele. And it will be if you listen to these discernments and guard them and do them. Ushmartem va'asitem otam. V'shamar Adonai Elohecha lecha et habrit ve'et hachesed asher nishba lavotecha. Then Hashem your God will guard for you the covenant and the kindness which was sworn to your ancestors. Okay, a little story. The infamous and much hated Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Kotsk once visited his little hometown where he grew up. While he was there, he made a point of visiting his first early childhood teacher who had taught him the alphabet, whom he loved very much. Before he returned home, he happened to run into another teacher of his. "I see you visit your preschool teacher, but you don't visit me. What have I done to offend you?" asked his teacher. "You taught me things that can be refuted," replied the Kotsker, "because according to one interpretation they can mean this, and according to another they can mean that. But my first teacher taught me things which cannot be refuted, and so they have remained with me. That is why I owe him special reverence." So it's interesting, this Hasidic story, I think that this story is not necessarily going to be understood by most readers because meditation is not a common thing for everyone to practice. And you can't really understand. It sounds like a cute story, like the preschool teacher taught him stuff that couldn't be refuted. And so it seems to be saying that things that you know for sure are important, but it doesn't really tell you anything about, obviously, the teaching isn't just about stuff you learn in preschool, right? There's a deeper meaning to it. But it's not obvious from the story itself. The mind tends to dwell upon that which it does not know for sure. This just tends to be our automatic default. And it makes sense, because it's the job of the mind to figure out, to conjecture, to approximate, to guess. That's how we are able to navigate life and make decisions. But this useful tendency often becomes a compulsive habit, usurping awareness away from what we actually do know. The more we ignore that which we know for sure, compulsively investing our guesses, conjectures, and approximations with a reality they don't really possess, the more we live life through the screen of thought. And this is called living in one's head. Notice, people often feel most strongly and defend most passionately and attack most violently in defense of things they don't really know for sure. So what is it that we do know for sure?
Hi there, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, you can support this work in a simple and easy way. Just click the thumbs up to give it a like and hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much, and back to the video.
Turn your attention from involvement with your thoughts and see what is actually happening right now. So we can do this. Take a break from the teaching and just do it. See what is happening right now. Not to go somewhere with it, not to judge it, but just to make the basic subtle judgment of discerning and knowing what is it that you know right now. We know the sensation of breathing. We know the feeling tone the mood of this moment that is arising in our awareness. We know the sensations of the senses. We know if we perceive thoughts arising in the mind. So this is, at the most basic level, what meditation is. Knowing what we know. Also called presence. We may also define it as intentionally noticing and therefore knowing what is really present now in your experience. At first, there may be a feeling of disorientation or fear. And by at first, I mean when people first start practicing this. When we just did it just now, you may have dropped right into it. But for some people, it can be disorienting. Why? Because what if our thoughts are just thoughts? What will happen if you let go of all that mind-generated drama and attend to what is present, to what you actually know for sure? What happens then? The ego is uncomfortable with this because ego is a sense of identity built from our thoughts and feelings. Begin letting go of your thoughts and feelings, and the ego can feel threatened. Now, this verse is from the Haftorah that comes with the Parsha, the reading from prophets. Halach hashechim ve'ein noga lo. Though one walks in darkness and has no glow, Yiftach b'shem Adonai, let them trust in the name of the divine, V'yisha'ein belohav, and rely on their God. So the first part of this verse, Halach chashechim ve'ein noga lo, though one walks in darkness and has no glow. So the Haftorah hints that there is an aspect of our consciousness that is forever in a state of not knowing. Ein noga lo, it has no glow. It doesn't say that one has no light, but rather one doesn't even have any glow at all. One walks in total darkness on this level. But if we can be clear about our not being clear, if we can truly understand and know on the deepest level that all of our mind's judgments are guesses and approximations, then we can transcend the mind-identified ego. We can transcend our separate self-sense that thrives on belief in our own thoughts and denial of the darkness. This is the path of Reish, the recognition of not knowing. I like how the letter Reish is also like the letter R of recognition, recognizing that there is a limit to our thoughts. That's the path of the letter Reish. And the second part of the verse, Yiftach b'shem Adonai v'yisha'ein belohav. Let them trust in the name of the divine and rely on their God. So then, in that surrender to not knowing, a new way of being emerges. First of all, trusting in the divine name. Now we have to remember the divine name comes from the verb to be, so really it's a synonym for reality in the way that I see it anyway. So trusting in the divine name means trusting in how reality is unfolding, trusting in how things are happening. This is the path of Yud. Yud as the smallest of the letters, just simple, no shape, no form, no definition, no content, just being simply present with what is. And second, relying on God. That is knowing that God, reality, being, whatever you want to call it, is ultimately in charge. Everything we have and everything we are is ultimately held by that. This is the path of Samech, the letter Samech, which means support, is the path of knowing God as our eternal support, moment to moment. Then we can realize there is something we can know if we would only stop and see it. We are this consciousness, seeing that which is present now. Interestingly, if we put these three letters together, the Resh, the Yud, and the Samech, we get this word Ris, which means eyelash. The function of the eyelash is to protect the eye from foreign particles. It is to protect our seeing. Secondarily, lush eyelashes are considered beautiful, hinting to truly see without the foreign impediments of thought and preconception allows us to behold a beauty that transcends all concepts. Just being blown away by the beauty of it all. V'haya eikev tishma'un et mishpatim ha'ele. And it will be if you listen to these mishpatim, these judgments. The word for if or because is eikev, which literally means heel, as in the English idiom that one thing will follow on the heels of another, meaning that one thing is the consequence of another. That's how this word eikev becomes an idiom for if or because. But according to a Hasidic teaching, the hint is that we should become conscious even in our heels. That is, the most insensitive part of the body should become aware. Then, when we are fully present with awareness permeating the whole body, we can make these subtle mishpatim, these subtle judgments concerning our own thoughts, and we can begin to truly know what we know and what we don't know, trusting in the mystery. Then, in connection with the truth of this moment, and in surrender to the unknowability of everything beyond this moment, the heart is set free, and we can rest in knowing the vastness of what we really are, the simple, open space of awareness within which the fullness of this moment now arises.
Shalom, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if it was helpful or sparked something for you or anything else that you'd like me to know. I look forward to hearing from you and responding. And if you're ready to go deeper, head on over to TorahofAwakening.com for live meditation, private coaching, and programs for adults and children, including Bar and Bat Mitzvah. I'm Rabbi Brian Yosef. All blessings.